So the paper highlights a deception that's occurred with the vaccines. All right, so we need to have transparency on these things. We gave these things to billions of people. They were liability free. There were mandates involved, and yet we're discovering that there are hidden components inside these vaccines only because citizens are sequencing them on their own. Nowadays, that's kind of embarrassing because DNA sequencing can be done like on a phone-size instrument. I mean, they're like USB sticks that cost maybe $5,000. There are even high school kids, as I mentioned before, that went into the FDA laboratory were able to find this stuff. So the regulation is not happening. When there isn't liability, there won't be regulation. So the paper is important because it shows what happens when you don't have liability in a process. That the FDA is not going to monitor this, and that it's going to become contaminated, and you're going to have components in there that could be, a cancer risk that are undisclosed to the FDA and sneak right through, and no one sees it until billions of people are injected. All right, you have to back up and recognize that now, while there is some cancer going on, right? We saw people speak about this, right? This is a major attack surface, I think, on the evolution of humanity. Like if you had let them inject the entire world with something that's this poorly tested, it could have killed off the entire species. Now, obviously that didn't happen. I'm being hyperbolic. But you have to recognize that a liability-free mandate like this, where no one's looking at what's in it, is a major attack.
We cannot afford to be nonchalant. We cannot afford to have, loose ends, right? Because the cost of that is people dying. The cost of that is people being injured. The cost of that is people getting cancer. And it's, at the end of the day, our lives that are affected by bureaucrats who are not ever held accountable.
Is exactly right. If you have no accountability like this could be an extinction level event if it happens again, and they have something more toxic than what we found in this one. So this has to change. Like, there has to be liability. They can't have mandates, and we need to sequence every single vaccine that's ever been out, because now I don't believe in the purity of any of them. When I see what I found in this one, that was apparently warp speed and had the biggest pharmaceutical companies involved. What's in all the other ones? Has anyone looked? I mean, there's no liability on those either.